Welcome everybody to this episode of Strong Perspective Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Keith Armstrong, with my brother Jaquari Armstrong and my brother Damon Armstrong will be joining us momentarily. We're here to have straight talk, to speak on our ordinary lives, and to understand where that life is taking us and how we're doing. Jaquari, how are you doing today?
I'm good. I'm good, man. Suffering through some allergy issues right now, man. I turned 50 a couple what 2 weekends ago,
Yeah.
and I'm just like, I guess my old man mind turning on and shit. So every time I stand up, I'm paying attention to when my bones crack and shit. My back hurt. God damn it. You know,
Oh
but I
yeah.
got me a pocket full of money though.
Yes, sir. And AARP, they get ready to get in touch with you. Just look for it in the mail. Get that card. It's valuable.
Hey, look, do I need to show it to you? I've been had that song.
Oh, you got it. Okay, okay. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But look, while we
Hey
waiting
man,
for
look, I've been thinking about retirement since I was like 30 something.
hey, look, those are rich man thoughts. Make that money work for you, baby boy. Make that money work for you. But look, while we waiting on Damon, why don't we go ahead and do some? I'm gonna do some little house cleaning. So basically, what's going on is we go live on Facebook every Friday about 7:30, 7:35 or so. And basically, what it is we bring conversations with ordinary people about everyday people about everyday life, because that's what makes this big blue ball rotate on its axis is us, the people on the ground floor that's working their way up. You know what I'm saying? Into the elite. It's several ways to become elite: financial, spiritual, through strength, determination. So many ways to be elite. Me personally, I want them all. And I've had I had all three at one or two times in my lifetime. So what I'm trying to do is align them all three at the same time, at the same moment. So what I mean by housekeeping is this: uh, we go live here on Facebook. We go live here on Facebook every Friday at 7:30 for a reason. Because our YouTube channel by the same name. What we do there is that's the constant. That's where prosperity is. That's where the chronicle is. Oh, perspective. That's where it is. So make sure whether you see it tonight or whether you come in later on, watch it on our YouTube channel. Make sure you like and subscribe. Go ahead and check it out. Because I'm gonna tell you now, the folks that we've had on, and also my brothers and myself, we we've said some great stuff. We said some great things to relate to love by, to live by, to absorb your spirit by. See, it's all about being profound with it. Of course, we could be in a better streaming service that's been talked about, that's been thought about. Of course, we can have our own mics and our camera setup, which is on the way. That's always in place. But what we're trying to do is we're trying to have these kind of conversations because, in my humble opinion, these conversations, these humble, everyday people conversations, are put on the back burner. They haven't disappeared. They've just been put on the back burner because of this situation we're in right now, social media, to communicate to our computer screens, our camera screens, our phone screens. So make sure you go to our channel, like, so we can reach you and reach other people as we build up those likes. Subscribe to our channel so we can take it further and beyond. But guess what? That's not our ambition. Our ambition is for you to understand that it's okay to have a conversation with grown men and grown women. Ah, check that. Grown black men and grown black women. And this is me. This is how I see it. All right, as we go along, Jaquar, I finished my little soliloquy of what's what when it comes to that. You know what I'm saying? So,
Hmm.
you know, why don't we just do this? While we're waiting on Damon, why don't we do this? Talk about, and I'll go to you first, unless you need me to go first. But talk about what you gained so far from our episodes.
Well, I mean, I've
Damon,
gained,
Yo,
man.
Damon,
what's
Yo,
going on,
what's
brothers?
going
all right.
what's going
Go ahead, Jaquar.
Yeah, as far as game, man, it's been an experience, man, that has enlightened me to different things, man. Period. Across the board, man. It's a venture, man, that you could truly reap what you sow. It all depends, it all depends on what you willing to put into it and everything, man. At this point, the effort that I have put into it, I definitely believe there's been some dividends, for me. As far as communication goes, man, it's some aspects of why we started doing this thing in the first place. That I'm just at this point completely married to, because I think those things are important to be sharpened in my tools or whatever. And when I believe I've not necessarily perfected those aspects or whatever, but I've become comfortable with them, and I can move up to other things. And that's pretty much how I measure my success. Yeah, I would like to be expert at one thing, but my thing is, I'm a jack of all trades. So eventually I will become an expert at one thing, but I do it in pieces, and I think this is an example of that. It's because when we first started doing these podcasts, man, I would fantasize about that with the actual product, and I'd be like, yeah, I'm gonna wax philosophical, and get all the little hand clap, finger snapping emojis and all that, and that's gonna satisfy me. But that's not the direction that my nature is taking me in. You know what I mean? Do I have the ability to do that? Yeah, I'm shit. I'm immensely goddamn entertaining. I know that. But as far as self growth, I think this has contributed to a lot of personal self growth for me. Throughout the whole process, man. Seriously.
Okay. Well, welcome, Damon. How you doing today? Before we get into this situation, how are you today, sir?
I'm doing all right, man. Sorry for being late, man. I had to take care of some last minute stuff, you know. And I don't think I moved that fast, man, in years. But I'm here, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Sound like y'all was talking about something interesting, man. What's
Oh yeah. We're about to, basically what's going on is I asked Jaquari, and I'm gonna chime in after you. I'm gonna give you the floor. But I asked Jaquari what he gained, or he feel what he felt he gained from the podcast the podcast we done so far. So what do you think, brother?
what I- what I gained from it personally? I think ever since we started, do you guys hear echo?
Yeah, yeah.
I know.
Oh, you don't have your earphone. It's not that bad, but go ahead and finish, brother.
What I wanted to gain from it was really for the people that's listening to get to know us three, you know, and how we move and all that stuff. And because I think we all three, unique guys, man, good people, and there's nothing wrong with sharing that with everybody. I think we have a lot to contribute, for the people that's willing to listen. I personally, it's been a long time since I allowed myself to be open, to allow people in, and it's just a venue for me with my two brothers, to be comfortable with opening up and allowing the world to, recognize and see who I am, you know. And it's a challenge, man. You know, it's definitely a challenge, but I'm more than willing to to accept the challenge and move forward, and be open and be comfortable with myself. You know,
I think that's important, man. Being comfortable with yourself, man, during this process, man. Out of all of our guests, I make it a point to ask every single one of them if you've ever done a podcast before, and we've been blessed, I think, with the majority, of the people, not having any experience doing this. We've grown with so many people, man. We've grown with so many people, and created opportunities for them to take this process, a little further, or whatever. You see what David's doing now. They yeah. They got it up, they got it set up in the apartment, man. Like like the I don't want to mention no names, but it's it's looking pretty good for him, man. I'm like, man, that's he's a natural. He's a natural, man. So yeah, I'm glad he found that here with us.
And that's the thing. I think we made him comfortable in then pulling that trigger because he's always been a dynamic young man. So, I think I would like us to take the credit for that. You know what I mean?
Uh,
So
Credit, it'll come from where it comes from. I don't care who it comes
yeah, that's real. That's real. I'll be honest with my take on it, and then I'll give you both an opportunity if you want to add some more. My take on it is this: because I've always considered myself a vessel, a vessel for in which the mighty spirit God flowed into. So I'm a tool. So many times, many conversations I've had with people, it was not because if I left a positive mark on those folks, it wasn't because it's coming from my intelligence. It's coming from a higher intelligence. See what I mean? So that's why I always consider myself a vessel. So one thing I always understood about my life is I was always put in situations that are timely and I'm supposed to be there, good or bad. Good or bad. I'm supposed to. Look at this, man.
My baby said this to me for my birthday.
Wow.
oh my god,
Is that what she see?
oh my god, you see the timing in that, man? You talking about God?
Yeah. Look, you saw the smirk on his face, man.
oh my
Before he
god, hey,
left.
my bad, man, my
You
bad.
know
Go
what I'm
ahead and
saying?
finish, bro. You just
Yeah,
caught me
yeah.
off guard with that one,
But
brother.
my point is this: understanding that I could have easily, over my lifetime, many conversations I've had in my lifetime, who I emotionally helped people. I, I'm gonna toot my own horn because I got big ass ears. And the one thing about it is God has given me discernment. Even when I did not want to use that ability, what has always happened to me because of our birth order and the responsibility that was put on to me, I said, you know what? And I'm being honest when I say this. I don't want to do this, but I'm here. You want to talk? Let's talk. Right? Now, when I was younger, I got caught up in my self importance. right? Looking, searching for some shit, searching for, you know, some validity on what I was doing. But then I realized as I got older and meeting the people that I met and just through many conversations, if you're looking for validity, then whether or not you help that person, it don't help you. You because y'all let me know if y'all agree with me or not. When
Damn.
you're there for somebody, it's an actual equal exchange. You may help them in the physical, emotional, financial way, right? But as you do it, you're helping yourself. So by me saying that is this: what I taken away from this podcast so far is I've learned a lot about myself, who I am, the the small speck that I am, and the enormous boulder that I am. Because it's dual. It depends on who you're talking to. It depends who you're talking to. You feel me? Because I see myself as a speck, but someone else may see me something different. So what I've learned to do, last sentence for you guys. What I learned to do is put the best of me into this podcast. My opinions, my spirit, my love into it. That's it. Anybody want to follow that shit? No, for real though.
Well, damn, man, that's a tough act to follow, man. You know.
No, but
I'm just playing, bro.
honestly, so y'all understood where I was coming from. See, I wanted to let y'all know exactly what I meant by what you came away with it. If you have anything else
I
to
heard
add,
you, man.
then go ahead and do it.
I understand where you're coming from, bro. Real talk.
Speak to the title. I mean, strong perspective. That's perspective. I'm quite sure Dana has a perspective, and I definitely have similar perspectives, but from different angles. You know what I mean?
I
And I
like the
think
fact.
that it really adds fuel to our interactions with people.
I like the fact that we on the same street, but we live in different houses. You know what I'm saying? Because that's key. Like we are of a singular mind, but it's not a hive mind. All three of us are different. You know what I mean? Big Hicks, I see you, brother. Said, when can you join the staff? First of all, the cast. First of all, you need to come on. Now, I'm leaving you messages, my man. I'm leaving you messages on your phone. So get back to me, brother. I would love for you to come on. My brother, I look forward to you meeting my brothers. But like I say, I love the fact that we all live on the same street, but we live in different houses. So we get different views of the same thing. You know what I mean?
How would you how would you describe yourself, man? In terms of, are you conservative? Are you liberal? You know what I'm saying? I mean, how would you describe yourself, bro?
You asking me?
Yeah.
I'm everything, bro. Listen, let me tell you something. I'm conservative with things that I want to preserve, that I want to keep safe. I'm conservative with that, right? But I'm proactive and ambitious with things that's going to serve that thing that I want to protect. And not trying to talk in circles, but what I'm saying to you is this: I am conservative at my base, but I'm flexible and willing to change when I know that I need to change.
What about you, Jacory?
I definitely have a conservative bent, man, but I'm more flexible to other people, how they go. I acknowledge it, I appreciate it, and very rarely are there situations where I just can't get with it. You know what I mean? Uh, people talk about people use the word inclusion, like it's a four-letter word nowadays, and it's taken, you know, it's mutated into something that it was not intended to be at all, man. Seriously, I mean, from my point of view, man, as a black man, it's certain things that I can and can't align myself with as a black man, as a person in this country, man, who uh, who enjoys certain certain rights uh, that I received off of the backs of people who suffer, man. I have to take that into consideration and at least listen to a person's plight. Whether I agree with it or not, to me, that's not the most important thing. The most important thing is that I take my time and I listen to you, and I genuinely try to engage you on your standpoint. You know, because that's in my opinion, that's what we as a community, as a black community, are. That's what we ask the world to do. Every time some shit happens, see shit from our point of view here. No matter how petty you think it is, for me to go back and forth with this police officer because he is fucking with me right now, or my boss because he is fucking with me right now because it's something about me and my kind that he doesn't like. Put yourself in my position. Once you do, and you start to, open your eyes a little bit, what kind of man would I be if something started to happen to you? And you gave me a very rational scenario, and I said, yeah, well, I can see your point of view. You know, I'm gonna at least give you that. Now, at the end of the day, whether or not I align with you, to me, like I said, that's not important. To me, the heaviest thing, man, is the fact that I'm willing to engage you in what you got going on, because I need you to do that for me in order
Hey,
for me to keep.
that's a hard struggle, ain't it, bro?
It is.
Always
That's a
is,
It
hard
man.
is.
struggle.
It,
When you have when you do have a grasp, check what's going on. Hell the pit, baby boy. That's a great guy right there. Chet LeVay, man. Great guy. Um, it's always it makes sense how it makes sense how when we get caught up on matter of fact, forget all that. Damon, you answer your own question, brother.
What I am, man, is a person, man, who understands that he is a flawed individual, man. You know what I'm saying? How can I judge somebody? Say, I come in like that old joke that Robin Harris made. His wife got mad at him because he didn't get mad because she came home at 2 o'clock in the morning. And he was like, hell, I just got in myself. You know what I'm saying? And in saying that, what I mean is this, man. In recent times in my life, soon to be 57 years old, man, there's certain things, man, that you feel comfortable with, that you hold on to, that you feel that identifies you, man. And you're willing to argue that shit, man, to to the cows come home. But if you believe in a higher power, he give you those little signs or that information that you need that requires you to be humble within yourself. You know what I'm saying? Being humble is the key to it all. Because it's like, how can I judge this man when I used to smoke weed back then too. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like I turned out to be a good dude, man. And you can look at my resume in terms of my family or whatever. Yeah, I was a kid, man, that people look at me and say, man, I'm worrying about that dude. You know what I'm saying? But through my own through the people that I met, be it white or black, through the people I met, I realized that, you know, people are looking at me. You know, like I tell my kids, I said, God, I told my son, I said, man, God made you 6'4.5" for a reason, bro. You supposed to be seen and heard. You know what I'm saying? But you have to take responsibility in that. And in taking responsibility, you have to be responsible for yourself. You know what I'm saying? What are you putting out in the world? That's really what matters, isn't it? What you put out in the world, because that's gonna have a positive or negative reaction. And if you man enough to be honest with yourself about who you are, and you putting out that honesty in the world, you can always, you know what I'm saying, argue that point, man. You can always say, you know what though, you might feel that about me, but guess what? When you point out my somebody that's close to you, when you point that out to me, I can't be argumentative, man, because you're close to me, and because you're close to me, because I allowed you to be. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna listen to what you're saying in terms of my actions as it pertains to how it's affecting your life. You know, and I have to pay attention to that if I care about people, if I care about humanity. You know what I'm saying? So I cannot move beyond my experience, my personal experience. And if I'm humbled in that, then I have to deal with that, and I have to address that with the people that I communicate with. So I'm listening all the time, and we can, and the one thing we can do is always agree to disagree and respect each other in the process. You know, so
You talked about honesty, man, and I totally agree with you. What point in a person's life, man? Well, no, all right. As far as in terms of honesty, man, and coming to certain realizations about yourself, do you think that there is a way that a person doesn't have to go through things to get to that point? And I'm
Oh,
talking about the good and the bad, rough shit,
it's
and
the
everything.
travel, dog. It's the travel, man.
well, there are some people, not to cut you off, bro, but there are some people who learn from other people's mistakes, man.
And you know what?
You know what
They're
I'm
very rare. But
saying?
I
Very
run
rare.
into, just like you guys, I run into those people. But really and truly,
I'm one of
it's
those
the
people.
journey,
I'm
man.
one of those people. I'm one of those people, man. But
I
the
believe it.
mistakes that I've made are totally, totally like ridiculous in terms of the lessons that I've learned from watching y'all growing up. I got hit in I got hit in the ass with a football helmet and I broke my tailbone. Have you ever met anybody else who done that? I learned so much about human nature, and I was in the fifth grade. I learned so much about human nature when that shit happened, man. Because I had to walk around Fletcher Elementary School with a motherfucking donut,
I remember that.
yeah, an
I remember that.
With look,
inflatable pillow donut shit to sit
with,
on
with,
for fucking like 6 weeks, bro.
look, with the nickname ass bone.
Man, look,
Hey, bro, hey, baby, bro, I was pissed off too. I was mad for a long time
Yeah,
about
no
that, bro.
doubt, no doubt.
man, that shit happened outside of a Huron Braves football game, man, and that was right after they told me I couldn't play because I was too fat.
Yeah, I mean,
That shit was rough, man. That shit was rough. That shit was rough, man. But you know what? If that wasn't one of the things that happened to me, man, when I was growing up, I wouldn't be this dude right now. I really wouldn't.
look, let me tell you, my journey has always been very valuable to me. You know what I mean? Because I've been blessed. God blessed me with this ability, man. Several abilities, but one of the abilities that He blessed me with is to be able to learn from my mistakes, to really learn from my mistakes and know that I don't want to go down a certain road. You know what I'm saying? And and I'm talking about certain roads emotionally. Because see, a lot of times, man, when you're young, when you're hanging around with the wrong people, I say wrong, with people who are pointed toward the wrong direction. because it's never the wrong people, it's wrong decisions. Feel me? You know, it's always the wrong fucking decision at the wrong fucking time. It is. So to be able to, well, let me put it like this. I have always wanted to be accepted to the group, but I was
It's funny
blessed
that you say
not.
that.
I was blessed not to be. I was blessed, and I use that word purposely. I was blessed not to be accepted by the group. I'm not talking about I was scorned or anything like that. I was invisible growing up. You understand what I'm saying? So if I became a part of the group, I became a valuable part of the group, but I was never invited into it. So when people are out doing the wrong thing, I wasn't the first name that popped in their head or in their mouth. Feel me? So that's where my blessing came from, understanding what I wanted and what I didn't want. You know what I'm saying? So when I got excluded, I realized I had to depend on the one man who would see me through every fucking time. And that was me. I'm talking about in this earthly presence. I had to depend on me because, just like I said, exclusion is the wrong word, but I was never included in the group, even all the way up into it being a grown man. But by that time, by the time I reached my middle 20s, I don't, excuse my language, I don't give a fuck. Even though at the same time, remember, I want to be a part of the group, but saying I don't give a fuck made me see the group for what it really was, a bunch of people who didn't want to be alone. That's my view of it. You feel me? Because the bottom line is you need you need a crew, including family, to push forward and be successful and have a taste of happiness. But you can also be happy on your own too. So to see both sides gave me a balance. My humble opinion. Chime in on
I
that
can
for
say,
me.
I can say, man, I've lived a wonderfully terrible life filled with beautiful fucking ugliness, bro. You know what I mean? The moves I've made have, for the most part, been to secure relationships. Because that's not something I've always been good at, man. That's not something I'm good at to this day. You know what I mean? While we're face to face, while we're in a room, while we're on the phone, while I'm talking or whatever, man. I want to make sure that I'm totally engaged in what we're talking about, and I'm here, and we're in this moment, we live in this moment, and people eat that up. People eat it up. But as far as me, maintaining that, like calling or whatever, I got friends I done had, for over 40 years, man. And it's been years since we had regular conversations.
Make sure you change that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But I'm giving it what I have though. At the time, right now, when I talk to people, I give it what I have, man.
Yeah.
I give it what I have. And is that selfish? Some people, a lot of people probably would say it is, man. But I've had to deal with so many situations, man, where I was unguarded, and it really didn't turn out the way I wanted it to turn out. And that shaped me, man. It shaped me, in all my relationships, unfortunately. I see it as negative. You know, I love you. I love you to death. I kill a brick for you. But when I leave, I gotta maintain that same kind of relationship with the next person. That's just me,
I feel
you
you.
know. And it's definitely, you know, I've definitely suffered from that shortcoming, man. You know, because you know people establishing relationships, man. You know, it carries on into different, you know, realms of success. It definitely does, man. As far as networking goes, I'm not a network at all. So you know that's no doubt hurt me financially. It's hurt me socially. It's hurt me, you know, in many ways, man. You know, in my point of view. But those same people who I would say that you know it's hurt, you know, the relationship. When I get in the room, when I'm around these people, it's like we never skipped a beat. So I'm not. I'm you know, it's some things about me that you know I'll admit are dynamic there. But you know I'm a very flawed motherfucker, very flawed. You know? But I deal with those flaws honestly, I believe, and that's the only way that I can maintain, you know, dealing with the world. You know what I mean? It's you know, I know several people, man, who are heavily medicated. You know, and sometimes you know, especially when I'm alone, I sit around and I think about, you know, well, fuck, why ain't I medicated? Because I need something. I need something. You know, because in a lot of situations, man, my mind ain't right. So I've got to lean on good qualities and shit in order for me to be the person who I dread myself to be. I've got to.
Damon,
Here's the thing, man. You know, I was having technical difficulties, man, but I heard the most part what you was talking about, man.
you understand the question?
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, well, repeat the question again, so I'm make sure I get it right. Because my brother was saying some deep shit, man.
No, no. Basically, what I was saying in a nutshell was wanting to belong and seeing my place in the belonging, and that's the conclusion I came from.
Here is the thing, man. My experience was the exact opposite, man. You know what I'm saying? I was comfortable with myself, but what the world taught me is that I needed to figure out where I belonged at, or you know, find my place within society or whatever. And it was always this pushback on, you know, what I was comfortable with in terms of myself. I'm saying, why are you so quiet? Why are you so isolated? Why you always take walks? You know what I'm saying? Never, you know, those questions was, it was always to make me feel like I was the outsider or I was wrong. You know what I'm saying? But if those people, those important people that was asking me those questions, if they'd have said, man, well, what do you, when you take those walks, man, what do you find then? You know what I'm saying? What's your experience? You know, that it gave me an opportunity to let them know that, you know what, man, I commune with nature. I'm a spiritual person. You know what I'm saying? That's where I feel my most comfortable. Where society is concerned, man, they look at that and say, well, what's wrong with him? You know what I'm saying? Why is he like that? You know what I'm saying? Not recognizing the fact that that's my therapy to deal with that inclusion. You know what I'm saying? I believe, man, the biggest evil in the world, man, is that element, man, that or those people that make you feel like who you are doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? And if you doing that thing that's making you uh, at peace with yourself, that that allows you to understand that being an individual is okay. You know, you're gonna lose your mind, man. You know what I'm saying? It's just like a baby sucking a pacifier, man. You do what soothes you. You do what makes a difference to you. That what keeps you strong. What makes you find a way to adapt to something that's outside of yourself, man. You know. And what's crazy is that, man, the world is going to tell you that you need to fit into a cog. But here's the thing, man. What is God's biggest miracle, man? Billions of people on this earth, and all of us are individual people, and we take it in differently, man. You know what I'm saying? And when you conform to what's being brought to you, you losing yourself. From that basic premise, man, you losing yourself because because your experience was meant to show somebody else, somebody that you will never meet in your life, but they recognize who you are. You see what I'm saying? And what you bring in terms of who you are deeply within yourself and your soul is what they need is that's going to push them to be that next example for somebody else. You know what I'm saying? And what do we do, man? When people lose themselves, man, and are afraid to express themselves or whatever, they medicate themselves through drugs or self-deprecation and shit. You know what I'm saying? And that is evil, man, because that is not God's purpose. You know.
how do you get a person to the point where they can deal with the fact that they're somebody's example? I mean,
That person got to,
hardship,
that person
hardship
got,
is definitely there to be learned from, you know. But
but everything, everything.
a lot of things I dropped the ball on, man. I lived through it. I find myself thinking back to it like, damn, I should have made this move. I would have done that shit entirely different. And maybe, just maybe, the outcome would have been different.
Did you make those decisions out of malice, man, or was it something that you felt in your heart?
Sometimes, personally, I do feel malice in my heart, bro. And at the time, I'm the kid who's gonna burn down the village, just to be warm. Now, me saying, that being said, man, shit, having to fight that shit every damn day is exhausting.
But you know what, man? To be honest with you, I'm because what I want to do is change it up a little bit the rest of the show because we're gonna have a little bit of fun with this. But let me just say this real quick. If y'all got any response after I say this, then do it quickly. Um, you have to be willing to stand on your own. A lot of people are not willing to do that. And I'm talking about stand on your own through the good and the bad. Because what do we, we are social beings. We need everyone to agree with us. In some small or large measure, we need everyone to agree with what we're saying so we can feel right. But when you get to the point like, hey, it don't make a difference. I got to find my comfort zone. What is going on with me? Because that's the only way that I'm going to be able to have love for my loved ones, to be able to help them, is because I'm comfortable with me. You got to be willing to stand on your own. But don't be dumb and stand on your own forever. But pick the moments where it best suits you to stand on your own. Like I
Brother,
said, Scott, if you have anything, do it real quick. Then we're gonna have some fun with this.
go
Anybody?
ahead, Jaquan.
I'm good, man. Go ahead.
My thing is this, man. If you're honest with yourself, man, and you honest with none of us are infallible, man. We all have our things that we deal with. You know what I'm saying? If you comfortable with yourself, you don't care whether or not somebody's trying to capitalize on your weaknesses or whatever. Because when you recognize your weaknesses, you understand where you have an opportunity to be stronger. You know what I'm saying? And that doesn't involve anybody else but you. You know what I'm saying? It don't involve anybody else but you. But the world ostracize you, especially if you're independent. You know what I'm saying? It ostracize you. And my point is this, man. Last point. My point is this, man. if you are a person, man, where you lose that thing that's innate in you in terms of your purpose for being on this planet, and you're working through it, then you're gonna be lost forever if you allow that to happen. If you allow people to, if you allow society to dictate that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna fit in anybody's clog, man. I can, but I'm gonna be combative the whole time because I don't relate with anything. You know what I'm saying? It's outside of me, and that bolsters people's argument. Man, you a weird ass dude, man. No, I'm not, man. You just don't understand me, and you don't care to. You know what I'm saying? But if you understood where I was coming from, then you might find peace within yourself instead of going along with the crowd, instead of doing what society dictates to you. You know what I'm saying? Being an individual person, man, is your purpose. If you figure out that you evil, you know what I'm saying? You're gonna be it's gonna be pointed out to you. That gives you a choice, doesn't it? Am I gonna continue to be evil, or you know what I'm saying? Or I'm gonna continue or try to be the best human being I can be on this earth because that's the real purpose, isn't it? Spiritual beings learn how to be human. You know what I'm saying? And that's
All
what
right.
we all have to go through.
Okay. All right. Well, look, I know that the three intellectual human beings that we are, we intimidate the regular folk out here. So what we're going to do is we're going to give our point of view from the entertainment side. So bear with me, fellas. We're going to go from here to there, there to here. All right? First, y'all both an audience, ride with us. We're going to have some fun with it. Y'all both familiar with the brother Kanye West, right? Now, if we had Kanye West on this show right now, we'll start with you, Jaquari. What would be the one thing that you would want to understand about him and get him to understand?
I would be real interested to know what his end game was. You know, whether his motivation be freaking getting out of contracts or some kind of extreme social reform or mental illness. I like to hear exactly what his point is to the end because I mean, as far as watching a full interview or whatever, I don't have the patience for that. I don't. I mean, I want to know what his exact point of view is. In terms of what he said about the people of a certain religion or whatever. Black people have always had a tumultuous relationship. Well, not only them, but people from other communities also. You know, and in my opinion, he was expressing his experiences. You know, where do I align with those, or do we align with those? Not necessarily, but we also have walked a mile in the shoes. You as far as community goes, though, I mean, depending on what his motivations were, I mean, what world does what world did he think he could possibly survive in? You know, expounding some of the stuff that he was saying. Like, come on, man. I mean, how could you as a black man, you know, stand on anything like that and just expect it to be accepted like that? And I've heard many points of views, especially about contracts. Well, he was just trying to get out of this contract, trying to get out of that contract. Okay, yeah, all right, that's fine or whatever. But if that was his goal, that was not a smart business. So if he is going through some mental stuff, man, but what can we do to get him some help? Because I'm not going to write him off. I'm not going to write him off. I mean, because I mean, if I do that personally, man, I I'll be painting myself in the same corner I criticize other people for, painting themselves in. I mean, I'm not gonna, as far as inclusivity goes, like I said earlier, in this conversation, I'll listen to you, but understand that the conversation is a two-way street. You know, hear me out, hear him out. Because I'm quite sure it's people from that community who hold certain opinions about us.
Jo-
That's it.
should I call you Johnny Cash or Noriega? Johnny Cash is I walk the line. I don't go either side. I walk the bro. First of all,
I gotta work Monday. We never ever deviated from that, bro. I've never deviated. What the? Are you serious? What the fuck? I would never voluntarily put my own nuts in the sand. I'm not gonna do that.
all
Man,
right,
this.
Damon, you a free agent. Talk to us, man. And look, make your point, brother. Make your point.
Here's the thing, man, with
Don't no,
Kanye,
no, no,
man.
hold on. Don't just say I hate that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying?
No, I
Make your
don't have
point.
an opinion. Because you're asking me, I'm gonna give my opinion, but in terms of my life, it doesn't affect it. You know what I'm saying? Because we as black men, you know what I'm saying, all the things that we go through, dog, we don't have time to be worrying about some billionaire dude, man, who ego tripping and shit. You know what I'm saying? And that's exactly, do we have, if he has a mental disease that's going on, then God help him, not pray for the man. But that's all I can give to him. You know what I'm saying? In terms of the things that he say, in terms of the things he say, man, he gonna have to reconcile that because it possibly could cost lives, man. And he's gonna have to deal with that and live with it. But as far as what he say, man, yeah, I think he's a fucking cornball, man. From the things that he say, but I don't know him personally. Is he doing it for attention, or he trying to get out of contact? Who knows? Only he knows that. You know what I'm saying? Only he knows that. But there are so many things happening in my life, man, where I hear it and I be like, the main conclusion I come to is like, man, dude, hey man, you know what, man? I woke up this morning, man, and I can barely stand up. I ain't got time to be thinking about that because there's people that's depending on me. You know what I'm saying? So I got to figure out how to get the hell up out the damn bed and make things happen. In terms of this dude who got all these millions and billions of damn dollars who's trying to get out of contract, first of all, if you a billionaire, why would you try to get out of a damn contract, man? Unless money is your god. You know what I'm saying? That's what you worship. So you willing to dismiss the color of your skin, the people that you know, the race that you come. You willing to dismiss all that because of money? So you willing to say anything that's shock value or whatever, just to further you being, to further you when you in a fucking place. Excuse my language. When you in a place where most of us will never see. You know what I'm saying? What did you ego tripping, man? That ain't got nothing to do with my life, man. You ego tripping, and that's how I see you. And that's not gonna put food on my table. You know what I'm saying? It's not gonna educate my kids. It's not gonna make the rest of my life comfortable.
You know,
So
You know
I
what they
pray
say.
for the brother, man, and I hope nothing happens to him. But he's putting himself in that position,
You know what
and the
they
people
said.
around him should know better.
You know what they said. This is for me.
That's a
For you
big
to
ass
tag.
hand. That's what it
No,
is.
no, no. This is for you to tag me in because I want to. Are you done, bro?
Yeah, I'm done.
No, I should have found something more because really and truly, I understand where y'all both coming from. I don't disagree with you at all, but I see the humor in this shit. First and foremost, I see a multi-billionaire go on and ask for help from us. I'm talking about the viewership. Now, this man is in the middle of a manic episode, is what he is. You understand what I'm saying to you? He's in the middle of it. That's what I see. I've seen it. I've seen it for 30 years. He's in the middle of it, right? But is he a genius? No, he's a master manipulator, is what he is. He manipulates people because when he gets his way, when he gets his way, he's with him and Khaled is high fiving, screaming God dead. You know what I'm saying? But when he don't get his way, when he don't when his obnoxiousness has his people get his fill of that, right? Guess what? He hops on there and he gives fragmented history, which fucking infuriates me. You get on there and you talk about, you know, we're the last tribe. I'm Hebrew and this and that and that. The only reason why you said that is to criticize Jewish people. And to be honest with you, I don't give a flying fig about Jewish people. I give a I give a flying fig about our community and what we're doing to go forward. That's my serious part of this shit, right? But when he get on there and talk about, you know, he raps about how what the white boy named Pete Davidson, he threatened to kill the motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? And then he goes, and then he turns around and say, "My ex-wife won't let me see my kids." You know what I'm saying? Like, what? See, here's the thing with Nori, Drink Champs, right? Now, Drink Champs is a novelty. I love that show because they get on there and relax and it's casual conversation. But Nori hurt his brand by doing this. My opinion. And I'm not right. It's just how I feel. He hurt his brand by letting this man, because he's Kanye, because he's a multi-billionaire, let him speak without checking him. Was it because he was drunk as fuck? Because he was drunk as fuck. I saw the interview. He's sitting over there slurring. Why this you know, look, Kanye might as well say Heil Hitler. And that's not because I'm sympathizing with the Jewish people. I'm saying to you, he was on there going ham because he knew that they respected the fact that he was a great entertainer. Come on, man. You a fucking entertainer. That's what you are. I get so frustrated because we have some of the greatest economists in the world that's in our community, but nobody listens to them. Only the rich listen to them. But the regular folks listen to Jay Z on a fucking feature on a Khaled song, and they talk about how he's a rap genius. I mean, no, he's a economic genius. The point I'm trying to make to you is this: you gotta distinguish what's entertainment and what's real. I went on a rant, guy. Any comment?
Yeah,
Oh,
you
whoa, whoa,
good?
whoa, 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 whoa. Simmer
You
for a second.
muted, bro.
You know what we like to do? Housekeeping. All right. Cousin David, what's going on, brother? We like what you're doing, man. Keep it up. Get stronger. Get your podcast going. I'm glad you're doing your thing. Look, our brother, Eric Harris, what's going on, brother? How are you? I hope you good. KJ, Eric and KJ and David was past guests, right? KJ, he says Kanye West. 1 minute he's brilliant, and the next minute he's the biggest jackass on the planet. In a nutshell. In a nutshell. So, cousin Malika, I wanted to read this one thing she said. Two things. She said, I think this is when we were talking about Kanye. She said that's exactly what happened in my opinion. He has fallen in love with money and power, and he think he has everything, but he don't have shit. I added that, Malika. You know what I'm saying? And then the one thing she put a damn exclamation point on there. She said he's an attention whore, and that's another nutshell. All right, guys, I gave you time to. I mean, if you don't have anything, that's cool. We'll move on to something else. But if you got a comment, you know, make them
I
quick.
just
Move on to our next question.
I just want to make it clear, man. You know, I think, man, we as a society, man, has forgotten how our everyday lives doesn't really coincide with the rich and powerful and all that stuff because they doing what they do to stay in power, and we doing what we do just to maintain a decent life. You know what I'm saying? To maintain a decent life. So, in all that, maintaining or staying in power, ego is always the main factor, man, that's involved. You know what I'm saying? If you powerful, your ego is going to be on that level, and you're going to say dumb shit, man. Excuse my language. You're going to say dumb stuff out to the public. And people who are insecure or people who are hopeless or whatever, they're going to glom onto that message and be like, oh, yeah, man, he's speaking the truth. But if you think about your everyday life, you know what the truth is. The truth is you have to figure out how to maintain yourself or your family in order to live a life, man, that is somewhat comparable to your dreams, man. Because we all have dreams and expectations. Our parents' dream was, I want all three of my sons to be educated. They achieved that. And you think about what went into that happening, the sacrifices and all that stuff, right? Which in turn, all our kids are educated, college educated, and doing very well. You know what I'm saying? The blueprint is getting our loved ones to understand that what the hell Kanye West is talking about is outside your life because what he's saying is not going to affect it at all. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to affect it. He talk about Jews and he talk about all these different things. You understand? Do that affect your life, man, on a daily basis? Not really. You still got to get your ass up and go to work and put in that time so your family can eat and have a place to stay. You know what I'm saying? And then on top of that, you got to go in debt to make sure that they're educated so they can have a better life than you have. You know what I'm saying? Because the one thing that's most important, man, is not what the hell you say, it's what you do, and that's what people really pay attention to. People that's really trying to make things happen in their life. What you do is what they're paying attention to, not what you say, because what you say can be detrimental to your damn life. You know what I'm saying? They can say some shit like, "Hey man, you should go to your job and quit, man, because they're not paying you a fair wage." Is that reality, man? It's not. You grind just like my mother grind on her job for the almost 40 years and shit, and retired from that motherfucker and got full benefits. You see what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And when our father passed, she got all his benefits, and she was able to do for her family because of his hard work. You know what I'm saying? Those are the benefits that we reap, man. Not cause some old clown ass nigga on there ego tripping, man. It's about
We don't
our
advocate that
everyday
word
life.
nigga, but go ahead, man.
Huh?
We don't advocate that word nigga. I don't like that word, man. But go ahead.
Hey, you saw I apologize when I used the F word. I don't
Yeah.
advocate either one, and I apologize for both. But that's all I'm saying, man. When I think about my everyday life, man, and my struggle, man, the only time I listen to a clown like that, man, instead of using the N word, a clown like that, it's because I'm trying to escape my reality. Oh yeah, he right, man. The Jews got us on underfoot. We got the 15th as African Americans. We got the 15th strongest economy in the world. You feel what I'm saying? In the world, billions of dollars. But the Jews got us underfoot. That ain't true. That's propaganda, man, and what it is that you choose to believe.
And you choose to believe that shit because you got some, you got some hurt in your situation. You don't know where it's coming from. So you
You
got
know what
to
hurt? You know where my hurt comes from, man. Having raising two daughters and there's ignorant ass brothers out there, man. That's all about trying to be a pimp. You know what I'm saying? You a threat, man. You know what I'm saying?
okay.
You a threat. That's my
All right.
world. That's what I live in. Cats in the neighborhood fighting over territory, but they slanging dope. We have all three of us have experienced loved ones that were strung out on dope. They a threat. The hell is Kanye talking about mother people are cotton in the way running shit? Why the hell Oprah and all these billionaires, why they can't put together their own shit? Instead of writing, making movies about butlers, why not make a movie about Hannibal, who almost overthrew the Roman Empire?
Your audience got to be educated first, though.
Well, you educate them by putting it out there, and then you
Oh,
teach them
I'm
along the
joking.
way.
I'm joking. That stereotypical bullshit. Let Jacory throw his comment in here, bro.
I'm muted. I can't say anything.
Huh?
I said I'm muted. I can't say anything. Why you muted, bro?
The echo, man. What are you talking about? Oh
That's my
man.
bad, man. That's me, man.
I think I think it's something that yeah yeah. I was sitting here talking for 45 minutes, man. Then I look at my mic and that shit is muted. What the fuck? I don't
Hey,
remember none of that profile shit I just said.
hey,
For real,
Jaquan.
man.
Hey,
Oh,
Jaquan, if you was trying to be that dude, you be talking about, man, this is what happens when we be dealing with black people, man. We just can't get it right, man. Damn. And I be trying to hold y'all up, man, and y'all got me muted, man.
Brilliant shit. Brilliant shit just out the window.
first of all, you've been sitting there quiet, listening to the flute. I'm
I've been
muted just
quiet.
because no, I'm muted to why Fluke was talking. That's
Mm,
all. Go ahead and say
Yeah.
what you're gonna say, company
no,
man.
Make sure
for
I'm
real.
gonna mute. I'm gonna mute myself so it won't be no echo.
Fuck all company. Fuck all. What you talking about? But for real, just playing the slightest devil's advocate here. Okay, I mean we talking about Kanye West. His whole public life started with acceptance, didn't it?
It did.
Anything he touched was gold. You know, Anything he did made him money. Got him to the point of billionaire status, right? So in his mind, why on earth can I give you people my complete honest opinion and not still be successful? Because I'm quite sure there's early on Kanye music that you didn't fuck with, right?
Yeah,
But he was still successful. I mean, I don't
it
want to
is.
relegate him to that level of fucking naivete or whatever, man. But at this point, his mindset is he actually feels like because of his financial worth and status, he's got a ticket to say anything that he wants to say. And for the most part, we as a world community had that we supported that. We supported it. So why shouldn't he think he can benefit? Just being a jackass.
That's my point though. Is how gigantic is your ego in which you think you can say whatever you want to say and people will listen and believe it. See that's my thing is when I said earlier, I know the difference between an educator and somebody who's an actual entertainer. You understand what I'm saying to you? He is a entertainer. And this is not downgrading this dude. He's a fucking entertainer. It's what he is. But look, let's move on for this. I want to do this real quick. All right.
Oh, Kiki, did you see what Malika said?
At the bottom, as far as on the screen, yeah, yeah, I saw it. That's why I put it up there. Um, hey, Fluke, you muted, man.
I said, let
Yeah,
me
yeah.
make this point before we move on, man, because
All
this
right,
is a
man, make that point, man. But we're
this is
gonna move
hey
on, bro.
Keith, man, you ain't the boss of me, man.
Make that motherfucking
Shit,
point.
Hey, look, he got the
hit
mute
it,
button. Yes, he
hit
is. He got
it.
the
I
mute
know,
button.
I know. He cut me off any damn time.
You better
Hey,
tread
hey, hey, hey,
lightly.
Spoke. He cut me off anytime. Talking about, all right, we gonna move on, man, cause my brother tripping.
You sure
Fluke,
you boy?
Fluke,
Tell
stay on, man. We need to talk. This is
Oh,
my point, man. I watched this documentary about Ye, man, and they were showing his struggle trying to get on or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And getting rejected and all that stuff. I watched that and I was like, that made me respect him even more. And that says something, man, to me in terms of how I view him in my aha moment, man. This dude, man, now that he's established, now that he getting money, now he's doing that. It's just like a frat, man. You know what I'm saying? Hey, dude, I'm gonna haze you because I got hazed. You know what I'm saying? Because I got hazed. So whatever come out my mouth, you have to listen to me because I had to listen to the clown that hazed me. You know what I'm saying? And I'm making more money than that cat that hazed me. So what I'm saying is more important because I'm getting more dollars than he ever got. You know what I'm saying? So he goes on he goes on the internet. He looks up all these different things and he's like, oh, that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? The Jews are this and the Jews are that. You know what I'm saying? Whereas a cat like me, I'm like, man, I'm not concerned about that. I'm concerned about how I move my family forward, man, better than the generation that was before us. That's what's happening. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not going to incorporate my trials and tribulations because that has absolutely nothing to do with it. Because what I have to do is bring my family my best self, man, not my struggles. The only struggle I need to bring to my family in terms of being black in this country, I don't say African American, I say black. The only struggle I have to bring to them is this. Dude, you're going to be judged because of the color of your skin, and they're going to look for reasons, to hold you back. But if you believe in yourself and you stay true to that, can't nobody stop that. It's just like getting them lambskins when you go through school, go through college, and you go through all the institutionalized racism, and all the bullshit. Think about all the stuff, man. All three of us went through just to get through school, man. You understand what I'm saying? And in debt for it. But when you look at it, it's just opposed to how we dealt with our family, our personal family. Their struggle was easier than ours, and that's the key. You know what I'm saying? When your struggle is easy, that allows you to implement those things in your life, man. That's idealistic, man. That you want to show the world. You know what I'm saying? But you know the opposite of that is that if you're being oppressed, you're not expressing anything. You know what I'm saying? You just being just like everybody else. Hey man, I got pulled over. Hey man, I went to jail for no reason. Hey, you know what I'm saying? But if you got if you in a situation where your kids could be like, damn, dad, I can't really understand what you're talking about because I ain't had that experience. But I know this is what I want to do in my life because I had the opportunity to be a free thinker. You know what I'm saying? Based on my own personal experience and what it is that I want to put out in the world. That's the key. All that other shit. Hey man, you know what, man? You do know we was kings and queens. What the hell do kids from 2022 know about kings and queens that was like 3 or 4 thousand years ago? They don't know that. What they know is that, you know what? I have an opportunity to go to this university and gather all that information. Ain't nothing but knowledge there.
Keith, Keith. I know you want to move on, but I feel compelled to ask this question, man. Are we as a black community telling Kanye to just shut up and dribble?
No, what I'm saying to you is this. This is my take on it. I'm not speaking for the black community. All right, and then yeah, you guys can chime in after this. This is my take. I want you to understand, sir, that I appreciate your accomplishments as an entertainer, but don't get on here and give out fragmented information to your impressible minds to the younger generation. That is so messed up to me because I can hear him say, when he said slavery was a choice, I know where the fuck, I know where that term came from. Somebody, not the specific person, but somebody, either black or white, trying to dismiss slavery because they're either ashamed and they don't want to take responsibility for it, or they're trying to galvanize. You don't spit on our ancestors who were fucking tortured and downtrodden. You understand what I'm saying to you? When you get on there and you spew all these things about Jewish people, right? And I heard David Duke say it in the fucking 90s. Whether it's where people think it's true or not, I heard a racist say it. You got to take more responsibility when it comes to your feelings being hurt. Take your fucking medicine, man.
Look
He
here, man.
is.
You go if you gonna say Kanye need to take his medicine, Donald Trump need to take his too because that's the
Hold
craziest
on. No,
motherfucker
hey,
on the planet.
listen, listen. I I
You,
understand.
you don't want to go that deep, bro.
No, no, you can use it at your at speak on the strong, but I'm not gonna talk about a stupid man.
And what's Kanye, based on the shit he say?
Kanye is lost, not making excuses. He's lost. I choose not. Listen, I choose not to listen to that stupid shit, man, because I know better. When I say I know better, it's not that I disagree with him. I know better. You understand? Because guess what I did? 20 years ago, I went and researched this the hard way, microfiche in the library. Because guess what, ladies and gentlemen? If you want to know a lot of the truth, it's still in your public library.
I damn near went blind looking at microfiche and shit.
But this is my point. I'm mad at this man because his people, his audience that made him a multi-billionaire have not really educated themselves. And this is not, I'm not saying that they dumb, but he's throwing, what do you call them shits, man? Uh, Sound bites out. That's what he's doing. The man is throwing out sound bites. He's not backing it up with shit. But guess what? We got kids who buying his ugly ass clothes, getting their parents to buy his ugly ass clothes. I'm sorry, but they're ugly. But that's my personal opinion about his clothes. But my point is, he got impressionable kids, black and white. Kids, I mean, from 25 on down, who will feed into that rhetoric and not even look it up to really explore what it really means, man. Am I saying Kanye needs to shut up? No, I need people to understand when he is bullshitting and when he's not. To answer your question, Kwan.
Well, you spend a lot of time talking about this dude, man. All three of us, it's obvious all three of us, see him a certain way. But that comes with wisdom and experience, man.
Let me look. We having fun with it, man. To be honest with
Okay.
you. Look, my day is not ruined when he gets on there on his thing. You feel me? Because it's sympathy. I deal with that
Look
30
here.
years. I understand manic episodes, dog.
Right.
But guess what? Because he's a billionaire, about multi-billionaire, I keep saying multi because with Pierce Brosnan, it was a boss move, but he's like, oh, not a billionaire, multi-billionaire. You feel what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But the point is, I just it's irresponsible as hell because he's having the tantrum. And it's not the black, this black man looking up to. No, it has nothing to do with that. Last thing I'm gonna say is, I hold the people who willing to listen to him just as accountable as him, because you don't even bother to go look it up.
Hey, I got a story. Personal story. I had to go to the hospital and shit, right? And I'm sitting in the damn hospital, and what I was going through personally, man, people wasn't really paying attention to because they was just doing their job, man. You know what I'm saying? And my wife was raising hell and all that stuff, and I'm like, damn, man. All I wanted to do was be treated, man. I didn't care about the politics of it or whatever, man. I just wanted to be treated. So I finally got in the back room at the ER, and they were treating me. And I had this nurse, white guy, young white guy, nurse. Good ass dude, man. Very attentive, you know what I'm saying, was trying to treat my needs and all that stuff. And I looked down and I saw his shoes. I was like, I said, are those Adidas, man? This dude got offended and treated me wrong. I mean, changed his whole opinion. I mean, his whole attitude about he changed it because he had on some fucking Kanye joints, and I said those Adidas. You know what I'm saying? He was like, no, these Kanye. What are you talking? This went off, man. And man, when they was wheeling me out, my man wheeled me out in the damn waiting room and just left me and shit. Just left me there. And then when my wife man came in, she was like, "What was mad?" I was like, "Man, he mad at me, man, because I said he had on Adidas, which he did have on, but he wanted to be recognized as Kanye's shit." And my point is this, man: you're not gonna be able to get through to people, man, who feels a certain status, man, for what they wear or what a clown ass dude say to them or whatever. You're not gonna be able to reach them. Not in your most in your moment of need. Let me put it that way. They're not gonna recognize that. They choose to be offended by the littlest damn things, man, instead of just doing your job. You know what I'm saying? So me, soon to be a 57-year-old man, I can't reconcile with any of that, man. I just reconcile, hey, I just need to know what it's gonna take to be able to move forward to help my family. So whatever some dude talking about, man, outside of my life, really don't make any difference, man, because it's not going to affect it. I still have to grind. I still have to make that happen in my life. And somebody's opinion, their opinion, don't mean shit. If you ain't sending no checks to my house, dude, what you say, man, I have the choice to listen or not. You know what I'm saying? And try my best not to be embarrassed about what the hell you say. You a billionaire, man. Why you got to talk to any damn body? Just to be about your money.
And look, that's why I don't care. Jaquari, you have anything to add?
I don't.
Okay. So this is what we're gonna do. A little bit of house keeping. Basically, I added because see what we're about when it comes to this podcast is what we do is we we go and explore people's opinions. When we have guests on here, when we're with each other, find out that look, I really didn't want to bring up Kanye. To be honest with you, you know what I mean? Because what he eat don't make me shit. My father told me that a long time ago. I was so impressed with it that it was part of my long 10 sentence mantra. Feel me? But I wanted our audience and I wanted each other to hear our opinion about what we're seeing. There's other current events, I want to, in real time, want to explore, and we will. But the thing about it is, when it comes to this podcast, it's about people in our community, not just black people. But guess what? Guess what? We need to be served, though. Black people need to be served. You need to hear conversation, whether or not you agree with us or not. Whether you agree with us or not, you need to hear conversation where grown men and women get together and exchange ideas and are patient enough to listen to each other. Period. It's easy to say, oh man, I don't care what you're talking about. That's easy to say. You know why? Because what you're doing is you taking a shortcut to your comfortableness. But what you're doing is hurting your evolution. To hear somebody out. Yeah, you can disagree. Yeah, you might want to curse somebody out. You might want to do this. You might want to do that, right? But my point is, the object of this podcast is to promote communication. Period. That's what we're here to do. Now, we're at this point, Damon. We done hit the hour and a half mark. So I'm gonna give you 2 or 3 minutes to speak on it strong, and we had some people ride with us for the whole hour and a half. So we want to let them to get to their Friday. So I want you to give us a powerful 2-3 minutes if you got it. You're on mute, my guy.
I said it used to be five, now I'm down to two or three, man. You know what
Man,
I'm
you
saying?
did not hear what I just said, man.
Man, hey, dude, I'm just joking, man. Here's what I got to say, man. Real talk. Yeah, we talked about Kanye, man. You can look at social media and all that stuff, man, and you can have discussions about things that's not really relevant in your life, man. But here's what's relevant, man. You got so-called um, world power leaders and all that stuff, man, that's talking about setting off nuclear bombs and all this stuff, man. You know what I'm saying? And for me, that fear's there, but that the defiant person that I am, it's like, how the hell you gonna have a conversation, just a cavalier conversation about setting off a damn nuclear bomb, man? You affecting my grandbaby's life, man, when you talking like that. You you potentially talking about ending the world, going back and forth about, hey, if this country do this or do that, we're gonna respond in this manner. And how you respond is in a nuclear way. You're not rational to lead the world, man. You insane. You insane because you don't give a damn about nothing but your ego and how you choose to move forward just to maintain, gain power, or not lose. And at the end of the day, everyday people cannot identify or even agree with what the hell you're saying because we trying to just live life and you trying to be in power. And that's the dumbest shit in the world. And as far as I'm concerned, the wrong people are in power, man, because they don't know any damn better. They don't care. They only care about being in power. And that's ego shit. That's ego. And you have no understanding how to live with your fellow man on any level. Because you willing to do the most drastic thing just to make a damn point. How irrational was that? Adolescent, prepubescent, dumbass fucking human being, man. Excuse my language. You willing to put everybody's in life. You willing to put everybody's life in jeopardy, man, because of your ego. And that has nothing to do with with everybody else's humanity. Just doing the best they can to get through. And as a 57-year-old man, as a 57-year-old man who went through a lot of things in his life, the world that we're living in right now, I do not understand because it has nothing to do with life or humanity. It has everything to do with some clown ass dude's ego. And it's detrimental to everybody. Everybody. Nobody's safe because of that. You know what I'm saying? So I have to keep my cool and my composure and be optimistic about life and hope that these clowns don't take it away from my kids or my grandkids. And that's difficult as a black man. I'm not even speaking about police pulling me over. Police might take my life, but it won't take my kids or my grandkids' life. They can persevere and move forward. But these clowns talking about setting off nuclear weapons, that involves everybody. You know what I'm saying? People that's rational, the hell you gonna do about that shit, man? Because we all want our seed to persevere and live and do better than us. We got the wrong people in power, man, because they on some dumb shit. And that scares the hell out of me. And I hate that. I'm sorry for being so gloom and doom and shit, but that's the reality that we living in right now. As I spent time with my grandbaby today, who's brilliant, who's talking, and ain't even 2 years old yet. She has something to contribute to this world. I just hope that these fucking clowns, excuse my language, these clowns don't take that opportunity away from her. As we talk about Kanye and Trump and all these clown fools. You know what I'm saying? It's about life, man. It's about life. No matter what the hell color you are. Everybody want their lives, man, to persevere and move forward. And the smartest and the strongest is going to survive. And you better make damn sure that I'm gonna make sure my family is smartest and the most clever and the most prepared. So fight me. So come to the arena and fight me on that. Fight my kids on that because they're gonna be smarter than your kids. They're gonna be more prepared than your kids. Deal with that. You know what I'm saying? And that's all I got to say. You muted, Keith. Bro, you are muted, Keith.
Hey, look, you couldn't even get that out, man. But look, you know how you could have ended that out
What?
and made that even perfect? Because that was a great job. You know when you made that even perfect, put that cherry on top? If you would have said, blah, blah, ski. Blah, blah, ski, motherfucker.
Right.
All right, but look, I have enjoyed this episode because we got to talk about a lot and express ourselves and what we felt about what we've done so far. Jaquari, any last words? Quick 10 to 20 seconds worth.
Uh, it was a good show, man. I think we do pretty good when we stand alone, but the fact that we're going to invite people into our space, man, so evolution,
Damn, I'm
man,
about to put
evolution.
myself on fire.
I agree with
Oh
you.
yeah, oh yeah, yeah,
Damn.
yeah. Why don't you go ahead and mute yourself, then, brother?
Turn the camera off. Turn the camera off.
Yeah, 'cause you about to give me trauma and shit. Nigga. He fucking burned the test right there. I ain't seen it.
Hey, man, hold on. This not right.
Hey, Jacoy, my bad, man. I was in panic mode, man, for real.
I'm saying, no, fuck that.
Damn.
No. Are you okay, motherfucker? That's what I'm worried about.
Yeah, I'm okay. I just put myself out, man. That's all.
All right, shit.
Jaquari,
Yeah, I don't got nothing else to say. That's all. That's my
He
concern.
saw that
Are you
stain
good?
crawling up his leg. He said, hey, man, this is a problem.
I'm burning. Oh my god, I'm burning. Like you ain't you didn't panic like you thought you did, bro. You held your shit down.
I just saw smoke, and I realized I was on fire. I was like, where the hell did that come from?
What the fuck?
All right, Fluke. 10 to 20 seconds, bro. Last words.
I think, man, I love spending time. As pertaining to your question when I got on, man. I just like spending time with my brothers, man. You know what I'm saying? This is the most time, man, that we committed to, man. We listen to each other and we talk and all that stuff, and that does my heart good, man. So whatever happens in terms of the podcast, it doesn't matter. The one thing that matters is I spend time with my brothers, man, and
Okay.
I'm confident and I feel good in that.
No doubt. No doubt. All right, well, look, my 10 to 20 seconds is this. Um,
You messed up my
make
damn
sure,
shirt.
make sure you this motherfucker.
I spent $50 on this motherfucker, man. Shit. I got a cigarette burn in this joint.
Hey, look,
Shit.
Eric said, put the shot glass down. But
Hey,
look,
he
but
should have told me
look,
that before I burned my shirt.
there you go. Um, basically, listen, people watching, people watching in the future, please go to our YouTube channel, Strong Perspective Podcast. Like, share, subscribe, especially like and subscribe. And by all means, if you want to share, share. Because if we're giving, if you want to give people what we're giving you, make sure they see it. Recommend us. Because what we're doing, just like I said earlier, we're promoting conversation between grown people, not just old heads like us, younger folks, men, women, everyone. This is everyone podcast. Every gender, every age. Later in December, I'm gonna have my 14-year-old come on, and I want him to give you guys his perspective, which is going to be unique. You got me? But look, hey guys, stay on as usual. Thank you for coming in. Everybody who tuned in, Malika, Eric, Big Hill, um, Fat, you know, cousin David. Thank y'all for tuning in. Hey, come back next Friday. We're gonna be doing it all over again. This is Strong Perspective Podcast.